Hidden gems of Australia's outback. By the time most travelers venture into the Australian outback, they've been drawn by the red dust of Uluru, the vast silence of the Simpson Desert, or the spectacle of Catajutas domes. And while these icons certainly deserve their fame, they only scratch the surface of what this sprawling, enigmatic interior truly has to offer. Australia's outback is not just a place, it's an experience. Its ancient landscapes, starlit skies, dreamtime stories, and the kind of solitude that makes you feel small in the best possible way. And beyond the well-trodden stops lies a constellation of lesser-known wonders, remote gorges, ghost towns, sacred Aboriginal sites, and wildlife encounters that reveal the outback's deeper, wilder soul. So trade your guidebook for a dusty 4WD and join us in discovering the hidden gems of Australia's outback, where the stories run deeper, the roads are rougher, and the rewards are infinitely richer. Ormiston Gorge, the Red Centre's serene secret. While most visitors flock to Simpsons Gap or Glen Helen Gorge, those in the know head just a bit farther to Ormiston Gorge, nestled deep within the West MacDonnell Ranges in the Northern Territory. This ancient chasm of red quartzite rock shelters a permanent waterhole that glows like liquid sapphire under the desert sun. Surrounded by ghost gums and steep cliffs, Ormiston is more than just a scenic swim, it's an invitation to disconnect. The Ormiston Pound Walk, a 3 to 4 hour circuit, offers sweeping views and a good chance to spot rock wallabies basking on sun-warmed stone. Insider tip: go early morning or late afternoon for the most magical light and fewest crowds. Don't forget a floaty, it's one of the best swims in the outback. Chambers Pillar, a monolith of myth and mystery. Towering over the flat desert like a sentinel from another time, Chambers Pillar rises 50 meters above the surrounding plain, glowing orange at dawn and dusk. Located about 160 kilometers south of Alice Springs, this remote sandstone formation is sacred to the Arunta people and steeped in Dreamtime lore. It's also etched with the names of 19th-century explorers and pioneers, including John McDouall Stewart. To get here, you'll need a high-clearance 4WD and a spirit for adventure. The road is rough and remote. But once you arrive, the silence is absolute, the stars blinding, and the sense of history profound. Why it's a gem? It feels like standing on the edge of the earth, with 1,000 stories echoing in the still air. Peru-Darling National Park, wetlands in the dust. Outback and wetlands don't usually belong in the same sentence, but that's what makes Peru-Darling National Park in western New South Wales such a revelation. This overlooked reserve harbours ephemeral lakes and billabongs that burst to life after rain, attracting pelicans, black swans, spoonbills, and dozens of migratory bird species. Once home to Pakanji Aboriginal communities and 19th-century graziers, the park is rich in both cultural heritage and biodiversity. Explore Peary Lake at sunset, when the water reflects the sky in haunting shades of purple and pink, and let the silence settle over you like a soft cloak. Fun fact, it's one of the few outback parks where you're more likely to spot a wetland than a desert. Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary, science meets stargazing. In the rugged northern Flinders Ranges of South Australia lies Arkaroola, a privately managed wilderness sanctuary that combines geology, ecology, and astronomy in one spectacular outpost. The terrain here is wild and otherworldly, jagged ridges, fossil-filled gorges, and mineral-rich hills that sparkle with mica and quartz. Join a ridgetop tour, where guides drive you along barely their tracks to panoramic vistas with names like Echo Point and Silla's Lookout. And when the sun goes down, the real show begins. Arkaroola is home to one of Australia's best observatories, with crystal-clear skies perfect for stargazing. Peer through research-grade telescopes and marvel at galaxies, nebulae, and the dance of Jupiter's moons. Stay a while, the sanctuary offers eco-accommodation and bushwalks for every level of adventurer. Coober Pedi's underground churches and homes. At first glance, Coober Pedy looks like something out of a Mad Max movie, which makes sense, since it's hosted more than a few film crews. But look closer, or rather, lower, and you'll find an entire subterranean world hidden beneath the dust. To escape the searing heat of the South Australian outback, locals have built homes, churches, and even hotels entirely underground. Visit the Serbian Orthodox Church, carved directly into a sandstone hillside, or spend the night in a cozy, cave-like dugout hotel. Known as the opal capital of the world, Coober Pedy also offers the chance to fossick for precious stones and visit bizarre desert attractions like the Breakaways and Moonplane. One of a kind, there's nowhere else in the world quite like it, underground and unforgettable. Mount Augustus, the rock that's bigger than Uluru. You've heard of Uluru. But have you heard of Mount Augustus? This monolith in Western Australia's Gascoyne region is twice the size of its more famous cousin and virtually unknown outside Australia. Rising 715 meters above the surrounding plain, Mount Augustus, known as Burringurra to the local Widjari people, is sacred land, with ancient rock art and a landscape that shifts colors through the day. Trails lead to gorges, waterholes, and panoramic lookouts, but you might not see another soul while hiking them. The appeal, remote, raw, and vast, Mount Augustus is Uluru without the tour buses. Litchfield National Park's secret swimming spots. While the crowds head to Kakadu, savvy travelers detour south to Litchfield National Park, where waterfalls plunge into natural swimming holes surrounded by lush monsoon forest. The park's Florence Falls, Bewley Rockhole, and Wongi Falls offer the rare outback luxury of cool, croc-free waters you can actually swim in. Hidden trails, termite mounds taller than humans, and birdsong in the canopy add to the park's wild, Edenic charm. Best of all? Litchfield is just 90 minutes from Darwin, making it an easy side trip with maximum wow factor. Don't miss, go early for sunrise swims and pack a waterproof camera, you'll want to remember this. Cobbled Gorge, Queensland's best-kept secret. Tucked away in the Gulf Savannah region of far north Queensland, Cobbled Gorge feels like a secret canyon hiding in plain sight. The gorge itself is only a few meters wide, flanked by towering sandstone walls that create a surreal, narrow passage only navigable by small boats or kayaks. Guided boat tours glide quietly through the gorge, giving you a sense of its serenity and scale, while above, a glass bridge allows for jaw-dropping views from a new perspective. Visitors can also explore the area by 4WD, hike the surrounding ranges, or stay overnight at the remote eco-resort. Bonus, saltwater crocodiles have been spotted here, adding just a touch of wild drama to the peaceful setting. Mungo National Park, walk the dunes of time. Located in southwestern New South Wales, Mungo National Park is more than just a desert, it's one of the most significant archaeological and cultural sites in the world. Here, the stark white sands of the Walls of China Formation stretch across a surreal lunar landscape. But the real story lies in the sand itself. Mungo Man and Mungo Lady, whose remains date back more than 40,000 years, were discovered here, providing some of the earliest evidence of ceremonial burial. Walking through Mungo is like stepping into deep time. Take a guided Aboriginal tour to learn about the spiritual and ecological significance of the land, or stay for a night of stargazing like nowhere else on Earth. Why it matters. This isn't just a national park, it's a sacred site of human heritage, still being explored and understood. Lake Eyre Katie Thander, Australia's inland ocean. Most of the time, Lake Eyre, Australia's largest salt lake, is a vast, shimmering salt flat. But every few years, when heavy rainfall flows in from Queensland, it transforms into a massive inland sea, teeming with birdlife and colour. Located in South Australia, Lake Eyre's rare floods are one of the continent's greatest natural spectacles. Flamingos, pelicans, and other waterbirds flock here in the thousands, and the entire lake comes alive with reflections and rich mineral hues. The best way to witness it is by scenic flight, soaring above the kaleidoscopic patterns and marbled textures of the lakebed. Even dry, the lake is mesmerizing, an endless horizon of white and pink against the blue sky. Good to know, it doesn't flood every year, so timing is everything. But even when dry, it's one of Australia's most surreal landscapes. The Lost City, Limmen National Park, stone temples in the wild. Deep within Limmen National Park in the Northern Territory, you'll find a place where time seems to have folded in on itself. The Lost City is a series of towering sandstone pillars that resemble the crumbling temples of Angkor or Petra, sculpted not by ancient hands, but by wind and time. Accessible only via rough 4WD tracks, this otherworldly site is so remote that even many Aussies haven't heard of it. But for those who make the journey, it offers one of the Outback's most striking and unusual rock formations, plus the thrill of real wilderness. Why go? If you've ever wanted to feel like you've discovered a forgotten civilization, this is your chance. Mount Zeal, the highest peak in the Northern Territory. Forget the snowy mountains, Mount Zeal is the highest point in Australia's arid heart, and almost nobody knows it. Located in the West MacDonnell Ranges, this 1,531-meter peak offers challenging hikes, wild camping, and views that stretch endlessly across the desert. Unlike Uluru or Kings Canyon, there are no visitor centers, no signs, and no set trails. This is outback hiking at its rawest, just you, your boots, and the mountain. Climbing Mount Zeal requires preparation and navigation skills, but the reward is a true summit experience in complete solitude. For serious hikers only, not for the faint-hearted, but unforgettable for those who make the trek. The Outback is often described in terms of emptiness, vastness, silence, isolation. But once you scratch beneath the surface, it overflows with stories. Aboriginal dreaming tracks, geological wonders, off-grid pioneers, and elusive wildlife all converge to create a landscape that's anything but empty. The Australian Outback is not a destination, it's a journey. Its hidden gems aren't defined by guidebook rankings or Instagram fame, but by the sense of discovery they inspire. Whether you're standing beneath a 1,000-year-old rock painting, swimming in a secret gorge, or watching the desert blush at dusk, the reward is always the same: a connection to a place so vast and ancient it recalibrates your soul. The beauty of these hidden gems is that they invite you to slow down, disconnect, and experience a different kind of luxury, the luxury of time, of space, of untouched beauty. So if you're ready to go beyond the guidebook, the Outback is waiting. Just you, the horizon, and the echo of your own footsteps in the red dust.